The continent of Africa is the birthplace of the human civilization on planet Earth. It is also interesting to note that within the holy book of the religion of Christianity called the Bible, the nations of Africa are mentioned throughout this holy text. The Bible is a collection of sacred texts, and that Christians believe to be divine revelation from God. The Bible is divided into two main sections, namely the Old Testament and the New Testament. Within the Old Testament, we find numerous stories which reference Africa and the African nations. The first book of the Bible, called Genesis, describes the creation of planet Earth by God. In Genesis, we find reference made to the Land of Cush, which is a region of eastern Africa where the Nubian Empire would eventually be established. Genesis chapter 2, verse 10 states the following: "A river watering the garden flowed from Eden. From there, it was separated into 4 headwaters. The name of the first is the Pishon. It winds through the entire land of Havilah, where there is gold. The gold of that land is good. Aromatic resin and onyx are also there. The name of the second river is the Gihon. It winds through the entire land of Kush." Later, within Genesis, we find reference made to the land of Egypt in northeastern Africa, which is the location where the Egyptian Empire would be established. Genesis chapter 12, verse 10 states the following: "Now there was a famine in the land, and Abram went out to Egypt to live there for a while, because the famine was severe." The fourth book of the Christian Bible is called Numbers. Within this book, reference is made to the Jewish prophet Moses carrying a Nubian wife from the kingdom of Cush. The book of Numbers, chapter 12, verse 1, states the following: "Miriam and Aaron began to talk against Moses because of his Cushite wife, for he had married a Cushite." The 11th book of the Christian Bible is called 1 Kings. Within this book, reference is made to the Queen of Sheba, who is also known as Queen Makeda. The Queen of Sheba was an Ethiopian queen who ruled Ethiopia in 950 BC. The Queen of Sheba meets with the Jewish prophet called King Solomon when she hears of his great wisdom. In 1 Kings chapter 10, verse 1, the Bible states the following: "When the Queen of Sheba heard about the fame of Solomon and his relationship to the Lord, she came to test Solomon with hard questions." The 12th book of the Christian Bible is called 2 Kings. Within this book, reference is made to one of the kings of the kingdom of Kush, which was part of the Nubian Empire located in modern-day Sudan. Here we find some details around a military engagement between the Nubian Empire and the Assyrians, who were originated from northern Iraq. In 2 Kings, chapter 19, verse 9, the Bible states the following: "Now Sennacherib received a report that Tirhakah, the king of Kush, was marching out to fight against them. So he again sent his messengers to Hezekiah with this word." The 24th book of the Christian Bible is named Jeremiah. Jeremiah was a Jewish prophet, and here the Bible makes reference to another African from the kingdom of Kush called Ebed-Melech, saving the prophet of God. In Jeremiah chapter 38, verse 7 states the following: "But Ebed-Melech, a Cushite, an official in the royal palace, heard that they had put Jeremiah into cistern." This chapter continues with the following: "So Ebed-Melech took the men with him and went to a room under the treasury in the palace. He took some old rags and worn-out clothes from there and let them down with ropes to Jeremiah in the cistern. Ebed-Melech the Cushite said to Jeremiah, 'Put these old rags and worn-out clothes under your arms to pad the ropes.' Jeremiah did so, and they pulled him up with the ropes and lifted him out of the cistern. And Jeremiah remained in the courtyard of the guard." The 14th book of the Bible is called 2 Chronicles. Within this book, the beginnings of a great battle are detailed. The Bible makes reference to the ruler Zerah from the kingdom of Cush, and the Jewish king Asa, who was the ruler of the kingdom of Judah. 2 Chronicles chapter 2, verse 9 states the following. Zerah the Cushite marched out against them with an army of 100,300,000 chariots, and came as far as Mareshah. These are a few but small examples of the kingdoms and peoples of Africa mentioned within the Bible. As we shall soon see, the constant references to Africa will continue throughout the Bible into the New Testament.